What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we got the Dodge Charger sitting inside the garage, and that's actually because we're finally going to be doing the brakes on the car. I've been holding this off for so long for some reason. I guess I prioritized a few other things, but today we're going to get all the brakes done for the fronts and the rears. We're going to be doing the brake pads and the rotors, so let me get those out of the box real quick. And this is what we got. I thought I was doing the rears as well, but I guess not. This box has been sitting here for a few months, but it looks like we got the front rotors and we got the front brake pads, and they also gave some new hardware. It's all like the pin and stuff to hold the brakes in, and I'm not sure what this is just yet, but we'll go ahead and figure that out. So it looks like we're just doing the fronts today, but I do need to take the rears apart. I had that clunking noise from my coilovers. I think it's my coilovers. I think it's just the spring is a little bit too compressed for the setup right now. So I think when the car comes down just like a tiny bit, it hits that, then compresses the spring. So I'm gonna put some more pressure on the spring. Hopefully that fixes the issue. If not, I'm gonna have to like take it apart again. Hopefully it's not the strut that's going bad or something else is broken. Hopefully it's nothing major, but we'll go ahead and take this wheel off as well. And exciting news, we actually got some new wheels coming on the way. Other than that, we still got our old seats sitting here for the E30. We got the new seats sitting here as well. We're gonna throw these in once the E30 is back. Right now it's looking like the E30 won't be here for another week or so. Hopefully the rust repair finishes up pretty soon. We can get that car back in. Now let's go ahead and start taking everything apart again, the car jacked up, and start putting this on. Well, ran into the first issue. So the low jack that I usually use is actually my cousin's. He lets me use it most of the time. It just sits in my garage, but this one doesn't fit. So we're gonna have to wait for the jack to show up and then we can get started. So until then, I think I'm just gonna watch some YouTube videos, make sure I know exactly how to do it. It's never too hard. It's honestly really simple. There's usually like pins that you gotta push out. So I see one pin right there, one pin right there. And yeah, shouldn't be too bad. But just going back to what we have in terms of parts, like look at the size of these rotors. These are absolutely humongous. Ooh, and they're super heavy. I don't know why I thought I could pick that up with one hand. And honestly, I'm not sure what this is just yet. We'll figure that out pretty soon. So we just ran into the worst possible situation that you could be in. I got everything apart. I started putting on the new rotor and it doesn't fit. I look online and it says these fit the 2019 Dodge Charger, but not the Scat Pack for some reason. Like, why didn't you want to mention that? Ugh, so annoying. So basically, these rotors are too small. As you can see, the brake caliper is touching the rotor right there, and you can kind of hear it scraping. And then I went ahead, did the measurements, and it seems like the face is a little bit bigger, and then the overall kind of like the lip of the brake is a little bit bigger than the new one, so it does not fit, and it just touches the brake caliper, unfortunately. So now I don't know, I might have to go order some new rotors. I'm kind of in a dilemma. So unfortunately, I had to put everything back on because the car, as you can see, is too far out of the garage for me to just close the garage. So I need to put everything back on just so I can move it a foot forward, and then tomorrow, hopefully I can pick up some new rotors. Turns out everything doesn't fit. The brake pads, those little pins, nothing like that fits. So we're gonna have to get an entire new thing, and I don't know when that's gonna happen. So bad news there. But yeah, let's put everything back together, and then tomorrow I think we're gonna take some time taking apart the rear suspension components and trying to find where that clunking is coming from, because that noise is even more annoying than the wobbly brakes. But the brakes, I think I still have some time, because you know they usually say 30,000 miles. I'm only at 24, so yeah, I don't think it should be too bad. Yep, unfortunately we got everything thrown back on, got the car back on the ground, and I think that's gonna be it for today. I think we're just gonna pick up the camera again tomorrow. Hopefully we can find some new rotors. If not, we're just gonna have to wait till we can get some and start this video again. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for the rear clunking noise. And just like that, we're back. It's the next day. I couldn't find another set of brake pads or rotors like right off the bat. They're gonna take a few days or a week to come. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to put this project on hold. Luckily, I got the entire front of the car back together, and now we're gonna take apart the rears, find out where that clunking noise is coming from. So while under here, I noticed one other thing other than where that noise is coming from. I'm still looking for that, but it looks like my little boot right here is completely cracked. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but that's not supposed to be like that. And there's grease everywhere. So that's another issue we need to address. I'm gonna have to go look online for that part, but now I'm just gonna keep digging around, trying to see if I can mimic that knocking noise and try to see what's actually causing that. Because I don't think it's that, but could be. I'm just not sure yet. So as I guessed, I think there was a little bit of play inside the spring right here, so I loosened it up from the top ring right here, spun it over to the left, so I put a little bit more preload, you could say, on the spring. So now I'm just going to tighten it back up. Hopefully that fixes the issue. Now the other thing I'm worried about is the little CV boot down here. We are going to have to address that pretty soon. Luckily the tear isn't too big and there's still a bunch of grease in there, but we obviously don't want to be driving with that, and we should get that addressed as soon as possible. But lots of bad news overall in this video. First the brakes, now this, finding another issue underneath the car, and I mean, it's all part of the process. We're gonna have to address it regardless, so let's just roll with the punches. I'm gonna go ahead, tighten everything back up. Hopefully that fixes the knocking noise. I'm not really gonna know until I drive the car, but I have to put the car back together for me to drive it, so let's see how it goes. Wish me luck. So I got everything tightened back up, and one thing I will say is I hate coilovers. I hate adjusting them. I hate anything suspension related. I think it's some of the most tedious work to do. Now let's just throw the wheel back on, and hopefully that addresses the issue, because if it doesn't, I'm not gonna pull it apart again to fix it, to be honest, like just being blunt. If it doesn't fix it, I am not pulling it apart again just to look at it. I'm just gonna wait till I get my alignment done when I get the new wheels, and then they can just address it. But until then, we are gonna have to worry about the CV boot axle, and that's gonna be another annoying process to deal with, because it always is. So just taking the car on a little test drive to see if that knocking noise is fixed or not. So far I'm not hearing anything, but let me get on the road real quick and see if I hear anything else. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not, but that knocking noise is still there. So now it's making me think, what if it wasn't the spring and it was just the axle boot going bad this whole time? So I might need a new axle. I mean, obviously I do need a new axle, I just didn't want to get it now, but it's something that we can't really drive without, so I'm gonna have to order that pretty soon. Another L on my end. While we're out, we might as well just stop by Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone and see if they have one which I can pick up. I don't think they will, because they're pretty pricey from what I looked at. I think it's like a $350 to $450 part for the scat packs. For the all-wheel drive RTs, GTs, and the SXTs, I think it's a lot cheaper, but for the scat pack and the Hellcat, it's pretty pricey. So let's see if we can pick up one on the way home. If not, we're gonna have to order that with the brakes and get one shipped to the house. Just pull up to Advanced Auto Parts. Let's hope that they have something that I can pick up. If not, at least like a repair kit, so I can put some more grease in it and just hold off for the time being. So I got the worst news possible, and they said you're probably gonna have to go to the dealer and get the parts straight from them. And from the dealer, it's around $450. They carry the shaft, or the CV axle shaft for the SXT, Enforcer, the GT, all the lower models for only like $98 or something like that. But for the Scat Pack and the Hellcat, they don't have them, hence why he said you're probably gonna have to go the dealer. So we just got back home, and if you're someone that has a Dodge Charger and not the Scat Pack or the Hellcat, and you think the 2-piston brakes will work on your car, feel free to DM me. I'll give them away at a very good price, half of what I paid. Maybe not half, but a little bit less than. It's gonna be a good deal. So DM me on Instagram or just comment down below if you have a Charger and you want these. If you know where I can get a CV axle shaft, let me know. I really don't know. I've been looking online. I can't really find too many different options, so I'm gonna continue looking. Hopefully I can get that up pretty soon. And like I said, I'm just kind of done with this video. Like, just bad news overall. The car is just dying for some reason. So many issues. There's even other issues that I was supposed to address this weekend, but I just haven't had the time. They're not as major, but it's stuff that I should get fixed pretty soon. So definitely stay tuned. We got some more Dodge content coming up. And I think in the next week, we're gonna do like a full detail of the car, just clean it up. It is absolutely dirty right now. You guys cannot tell on camera, but there's watermarks and brake dust and just random gunk all over the car. So we're gonna get it cleaned up this weekend. And we also have a few garage upgrades. So that cluttering all on the toolbox, that should be gone. And you guys will see that all in the next video. So definitely stay tuned. If you haven't already, go down, subscribe, like, comment what you thought of the video. It gets this video out to more people. Comment down below what you thought of the video and stay tuned. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.